Ah, fall. When all the leaves are falling, the kitty cat and puppy are out playing and frolicking. And it brings a lot of leaves. We gotta figure out something to do with this. Stay tuned and find out what I do. All right, so what we're gonna do today, I think we're gonna make something fall. The leaves outside have been very beautiful. A lot of them are already gone, but I was able to collect quite a few. And what I did is I took these, picked them off our driveway, and then let them dry. Some curled up, but we might be able to work with them. So ultimately the goal is, and I picked up a fern, I don't know if that's gonna work, is we're gonna try to make a bowl. This is my pattern. I'm gonna flip this over and try decoupaging this. It may or may not come out. We'll see. Okay, I got my bowl form. I got some water, and I'm gonna just put some white glue in it. I have a little bit left on this one. I use it a lot. And hopefully this will all stick down. I'm gonna get every last drop of that. I'm gonna have to buy me another one. What's nice is this white school glue is very cheap. All right, we're gonna get our good old saran wrap. Because if I just, well, it might work with this one because this is just a plastic bowl. But if I just stuck it directly on here, it might stick on there forever, and we don't want that. We want it to have that the leaf effect to show, not the green bowl. So I'm just gonna cover this up as best as I can, and we'll see what happens. Like so. Okay, I think we're gonna need a bit more glue. So I have not done this before, so I'm not sure how this is gonna work. But I'm gonna do the prettiest ones. You gotta think backwards. Take the stem off. And we're just gonna dunk it and place it. This could be interesting. And the good thing about around here is if I run out of leaves, I know where to find more. Got plenty of them. The idea is when this dries, it'll form into a bowl. I think I'm gonna do a layer of actual newspaper paper mache, just to give it a hefty rigidity to it. I'm trying to be a little conscious of a pattern, sort of, kind of, as much as you can. See if we can get some of these brown ones in there. I wonder if I dunk this in the water, if it will unfurl a little bit. Oh yeah, nice. Anything that hangs over, I'll just cut off. Will it work? I don't know. fun to try though. Got a few green leaves too, just for color. Might use that for filling in the gaps. Now these paper pieces, you won't see them, well, hopefully, but I'm basically using them as like a tape of sorts. I think the longer strips work better. It's been very cold out here, so I'm not sure how long this will take to dry, so that's going to be interesting. But thinking the more I put of the paper, the stronger it should be, in theory, right? Alright, so we're going to let this layer dry, and we will see what happens. Hopefully, and then if I need to, I'll probably put another layer of the paper. And then, after this, we're going to do a layer of the leaves on the outside. So this paper stuff, in theory, won't show. So, let's let it dry. Okay. This is an overnight dry, but like I said, we're up in the barn where it's very cold. It's not going to dry quick. That's okay. I think I want to put another layer of newspaper. I'm going to add some more glue to this water, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to put some leaves over the top here. I gathered some more leaves, and look at this guy. He's huge. I don't know if I'll use it, but I thought I'd show you that ginormous leaf. Yeah, some of these that dried up overnight, I think it's better to use kind of the wet ones, so, and these are pretty anyway. And I might put a heater on this too. Okay. Let's put another reinforcement layer of paper, and then we'll cover it in leaves. Because we do want to use this as a bowl of sorts, but I don't want a flimsy bowl. I want it to at least hold a piece of bread or something. Oh, that water is really cold. It's been like in the 30s. Not snowing, not yet, but it's definitely cold. Let's do some strengthening of the bottom. Around the sides. The paper is purely for structure. The leaves are for pretty decoration, so we're not being too delicate with the paper part. And I think I'm going to put something heavy on top too to kind of flatten that out as well. But let's do some decorative leaves. Now this side, remember on the other side we had to think backwards, so whatever's on the bottom would show from the bowl. This one, whatever's on the top is going to show. So I'm going to keep my tiny little leaves for the last, use my bigger leaves as my background, so to speak. And we'll just soak those in the glue water and start building the last of our bowl. Let's see, how's this gonna? I've been taking the stems off too. The beauty of this is if I run out of leaves, I know where there's more. We have a lot of leaves out there. I think we're on the tail end of fall though. Leaves are almost all gone. I am kind of making a pattern. Trying to anyway. Think it'll stay down? Find out, huh? Now I have another bowl that's this size, so what I might do, kind of make like a jello mold. And put it over the top. Make sure, we'll probably have to do some fidgeting when it's dry. Tack down some spots. For the most part, we just gotta let it dry. So, what I want to do, I don't have any saran wrap here, I took it back to the house, but this should work. Protect this so it doesn't stick to my bowl, hopefully. It might not stick at all, but what I might do, actually that's good, it doesn't stick, okay, is I'm going to put something right here, and then right here. Should hold it down, in theory anyway, maybe something a little more shallower. Just want it to press it down a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's leave that and see what happens, huh? Let's check on this, shall we? I've had the heater on here It's still very wet. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in the house and try to let it dry out. The glove idea worked really well. So I'm going to be able to, oh yeah. Let's bring it in the house. All right, we brought it into the house and I carefully peeled this saran wrap off. Having that plastic against it, I think it wasn't helping the drying process at all. You can see it's still absolutely soaking wet, and it's been 2 days. So I just uncovered it, left it in that double bowl formation there, and let the inside dry, and then I flipped it upside down and let the outside dry. It was the only way to do it. And after a few days, inside the nice warm house, it finally dried out. Not bad. It's still a little flimsy, but it's the effect that we want it. Now it's nice and dried out. I want it to be just a little bit stiffer and more secure. So I'm going to put a layer of glue all over it, decoupage style, and hopefully that will tack down any leftover loose ends. Once I got the inside of the bowl nicely coated with the glue, I just covered my green bowl right back up with some more saran wrap, flipped it, and I'm going to do the same thing to the outside. Once that gets all coated, I'm just going to set it aside and let it dry. The bowl's all dry, and it's looking like a leaf bowl, but I feel like it needs a little extra something. So I found some gold paint, and I think I'm going to outline all the leaves in this gold paint just to give it a little something something. I think that looks much better. It really defines the leaves, and I'm going to do the same thing to the outside of it. And once that's all dry, I'm going to give it a nice coating of clear coat spray paint, just to protect it. The more layers, the better in my head. All right, we did it. It's done. It took a very, very long time. It took about a week, I would say. And After clear coating, it's nice and shiny now. It's still flexible, I guess. It's flimsy. I wouldn't put, this would not be a soup bowl, that's for sure. But maybe, you know, some decorative items in there, some pine cones and pretties and things like that. But my oldest says it looks like a Stardew Valley hat. I guess so. It did turn out pretty cute. But outlining it in gold definitely helped make the leaves get more pronounced. And you know what? Not too bad. I think it's nice to the touch. I think I invented a new cloth, a leaf cloth. I'll patent it. But I don't know how strong it would be though. It was fun. Would I do it again? Yeah, why not? What would I do differently? Maybe go smaller, like little cups would be really cool. Or make like a coaster. It would probably be, it's almost like a leather texture. It probably, after you seal coat it a lot, it would be pretty durable, I think. I mean, this has been tossed around a little bit when I finished it, and it's still holding up. And I was gonna trim the edges and make it like a uniform bowl, but I really like the fringes. I think it gives it the leafy character and a little more elfish in Stardew Valley, I guess. But and another cool thing, and I have never played with resin or anything, but that would have been really cool, is to do a coating of resin, let that dry, a really thin coat probably, and then flip it, and then maybe do a coat of resin then. It would be very sturdy, and it would turn out just as pretty. But otherwise, I think it's a success. What do you think? Leave me a comment, and have you made one before? What did you do? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? I think it turned out great. I mean, there's no wrong way to do things, right? So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a fun fall, winter, well, I guess it's fall, right? The tail end, fall, November. It's kind of getting chilly here, and we're going into December. December means snow projects, log cabins. We're gonna have all sorts of Christmas decorations, maybe. We'll see. But stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much. And, you know, give us a thumbs up. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you very, very much. And you have a fabulous fall crisp weekend. Bye-bye. I guess it is a hat, huh? I guess.